Alright, quietly perusifying, that's reading, to use some papers per minute. What were you reading? By window, you mean the one directly across from Faye and obviously, that's what he means. Correct! That is the only window, you see. And there you were reading papers? Correct! The Gatewater is a businessman's hotel, and I am a busy man who had busyness to do. Then I heard a bedlam coming from outside. A bedlam? It must have been when you attacked, I assume. We see. Continue. Surprised, I turned to look at the building across the way. I'm gonna... Because then I saw him, spiky-haired man attacking one with long hair. What have I got? I mean, check that. Okay, I don't want that. I need to say that man was none of the new Mr. Wright. Right, yeah, hang on. Let's do that. Spiky-haired man attacking one with long hair. Let's press. Spiky-haired? Oh. Challenge. What you just said directly conflicts with Miss May's testimony. Miss May clearly stated the assailant looked like a girl. I've always been proud of my eyesight, Mr. Lawyer. Just what is your eyesight? Sparkly. Counting both eyes, 40. 40? Don't add them together. I think the witness is trying to say his eyesight is good. Hey, whose side is the judge on anyway? His side. You're not paying attention, Phoenix. And what did you do then? I called Miss May over at once. She too was surprised, of course. Wouldn't the bellboy have known that? What was Miss May doing at that time? She had just finished watching a soap opera on the TV and was weeping openly. Did you know she'd been tapping the Faye office phone? Irrelevant, that has nothing to do with the case at hand. Currently, there is no reason why it's relevant. I care not. I will answer the lawyer's bold inquiry. Miss May was acting alone when she tapped the phone of this Faye woman. You'd make a good politician, Mr. White. Ho-ho! I know. After all, I am El Presidente. Please continue. Victim, she ran away, but you gave chase. Which way did she go? Can you be a little more detailed about that? I think it's worth knowing exactly what happened. Of course. Comprende. I understand. The victim was attacked by you and ran to the left. You gave chase and struck her down. Are you sure? As you know, I am always absolutely perfect. Perhaps you could change your testimony to reflect this new detail. Okay, victim ran to the left. Right, which we know does not line up with this one, because she dodged and ran to the right. Wait right there. Mr. White, you've dug your own grave. What is this? You said the victim ran to the left, but that directly contradicts Miss May's testimony. She clearly stated the victim ran right. Oh ho ho! It is simple. You've misheard her. I think not. Look at the floor plans. The killer was here, and the victim here. If the victim ran to the left, as you claim she did, she would have been running directly away from the door. She would have been running into a dead end. Don't you find that odd? Huh! Very strange. I did see her run to the left. I did. Phoenix, look at his face. I don't think he's lying about this one. True. Maybe he really did see the victim run left. So he did witness the killing. Wait a second. Mr. Wright? Yes, Your Honor. Miss May says right, Mr. White says left. Can you explain this contradiction to the court? Both are right. Miss May was in the room across the other way, so she ran to the right. Mr. White was on the other side because he was bashing her in the head, so she ran to the left. Both are right. Both witnesses are telling the truth, for once. Ha! I doubt it. Rather, that doesn't clear up the contradiction. There is one scenario to explain their conflicting accounts. What? Obviously, the witness was not viewing the crime from the hotel. Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Yes, what do you mean he was not viewing the crime from the hotel? If he was not in the hotel, where could he have been? In the law offices of Fay and Company, of course. More specifically, he was standing here. Time to recall where Mr. White was standing. The killer. Where the killer was. This is where he was. Look. When the victim ran for the door, if he was watching from this point, to him it would appear that she ran to the left. Please, this is no time for jokes and ill taste. That is where the killer was standing. Exactly. Order! I will have order! Anyone disturbing the order of this courtroom will be held in contempt. Mr. Wright, what are you suggesting? Rapscallion! The postulations of the defense are a distortion of the truth, Your Honor. Indeed, they do seem a bit far-fetched. Ho ho ho! You provide us with so much entertainment, Mr. Lawyer. What now? He's laughing? The hilarity of the moment made me remember something. It appears I've been unclear, and for this I apologize. Mr. Your Honor, might I be allowed to testify once more? Very well, let's hear your revised testimony. Good luck. You can't fix a broken testimony, buddy. You clearly can. You get like 5 attempts. She ran to the left. Miss May's testimony was correct, as was mine. When you assaulted the girl, she first ran to the left, and then you hit her savagely. That is what I saw. Next, with the last of her strength, she ran to the right. You chased her and delivered that final blow. Wait, hang on. Does the autopsy only say one blow? That is what Miss May saw. You see? You hit her twice. Don't you remember, Mr. Lawyer? That does seem to make sense. Will you be cross-examining the witness's testimony? You bet I will. I mean, yes, Your Honor. Let's see what we've got, because I think... Miss May's testimony... From a blow... No, so that's the only one we've got, so I wanna... First one to the left, then you hit her savagely, that's what I saw. Last of her strength, she ran to the right. You chased her and delivered the final blow. That's what Miss May saw. You see, you hit her twice. And we'll go with the autopsy report, because that says a blow by a blunt object. Mr. White, the victim died from a single blow. What do you have to say to that? Now's my chance to hit him where it counts. Mr. White, wasn't it you who told this court you were absolutely perfect? I will refrain from using this phrase from now on. Win. Your Honor, if you can ask the witness for a new testimony... The witness is obviously confused, Your Honor. I would like to request a 10-minute break. Yes, quite. The witness is confused because he's lying. I emphatically request there be no break, Your Honor. Yeah, we want justice. We want justice. Don't let him get away. Very well. If the witness would care to revise his testimony... Crowd's on my side. No slipping out of this now, White. Mr. White? Oh, okay. The 2 accounts. Well, you see, I looked at the other window when I heard that thing fall. Then, the next moment, I saw Miss Mayo run to the left. The killer, you, attacked her, but she dodged, and then she turned and ran for the door. Then you did her in with a single blow. Oh, I didn't actually read the last word. Thwap, indeed. Very well, you may begin the cross-examination. Mr. Your Honor, my stomach, you see, it's hurting. Deal with it. This is almost over. I'll have to have a look at what the actual last one was, because I kind of skipped it a little too fast. Well, see, I looked at the other window when I heard that thing fall. Whoa! He said there was only one window. Now, we'll get to the last one. Killer, you attacked her, but she dodged, she turned and ran for the door. Did her in with a single blow, thwap. Oh, that was it. Okay, never mind. You said there was only one. You heard that thing fall? What exactly was that thing? Huh? Oh, that? The glass light stand. Right, the one that had fallen over at the scene. Phoenix, doesn't something about that strike you as odd? I'm gonna go with yes, because you're pointing it out. Yeah, that is odd. I'll press further. Mr. White. Huh? What? You're saying you saw the glass light stand? Yes? Then change your testimony to reflect that. Sorry, my bad. The witness will revise his testimony. Again. Okay, of course. A light stand was lying on the floor when I looked. Which was off to the side. So present. Mr. White. It was impossible for you to have seen the glass stand. What? Look at this. These are the floor plans to the scene of the murder, yes? Correct, Your Honor. Now look. If you were to look through the window at the office, this is the area you'd be able to see. Here. Well, note that the stand is not within the visible area. Well, Mr. White? What do you have to say to that? Ridiculosity. Mr. White, if you were in the Gatewater Hotel as you claim, you could not have seen the stand before it fell over. In fact, you wouldn't have been able to see it after it fell either. There's no way you could have recognized the broken shards as a glass light stand. So, when did you see the stand, Mr. White? It must have been the moment that it fell. And the only place you could have seen that from is inside the Fey law offices. In other words, you were at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Mr. White? Mr. White? You did it, didn't you? Mr. Your Honor, Miss Mia. Heh, looks like we're about to get our verdict. Uh-oh. That's far enough, Phoenix Wright. What? I forgot about Edgeworth. Mr. White. I think the time's come. Shouldn't you confess your crime now? So he's going to confess to something else, like he wasn't actually there. What? I said you should confess your crime. Ergo, confess that you placed the wiretap. The wiretap? Order! Mr. Edgeworth, explain to the court what you mean by this. Distinguished members of the court, Mr. White is slightly confused. Allow me to explain. I really don't like the way this is headed. As you know, Mr. White is the CEO of Blue Corp. He ordered his secretary, Miss April May, to tap the law offices of Ms. Fay. What does that have to do? Your Honor, the question is, when was the wiretap placed in the office? And by whom? No, you wouldn't. Mr. White, in order to place the wiretap, you entered Miss Fay's office. Am I correct? Oh my goodness, so leading. Correct? You are most correct, Miles. Give me a break. Yes, in order to place the wiretap, I breached the Fay and Company law offices. That is when I saw that accursed light stand. Now I'm confused. Please explain to the court what this all means, Mr. Edgeworth. Gladly, Your Honor. Mr. Phoenix Wright has made its position quite clear. He has determined that Mr. White knew the glass stand was in the office. He has shown that there was only one time Mr. White could have seen the stand, at the very moment of the murder. Thus, Mr. Wright would like you to believe that Mr. White was the murderer. I see. However, it is a fact that Mr. White had been to that office well before the murder took place, when he went to place the wiretap. He could have seen the glass light stand then. Ergo, Mr. Phoenix Wright's theory is revealed for the baseless conjecture it is. Mr. White, you will testify to the court about this wiretapping. Another cross-examination. Leave it to me. I feel faint. Oh my goodness, so many testimonies. What are we up to, like, what are we up to, 5? Yeah, I think it's 5. No, 6 maybe. It was the beginning of September, the week before the murder. I'd entered the Fair and Company law offices, and of course, I had done so to place the wiretap. That is when I saw this glass light stand. I don't know what accent I'm doing with anyone. So, you saw the stand before the night of the incident. This is how you were able to identify what had fallen over. By the sound? Correct. That is right. I see. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine. What am I supposed to do now? Good luck, Phoenix. Alright, okay. Have I got anything useful? Right. That's not helpful. I think we're gonna have to press. Do you have proof? Miss April May knew the details of Miss Faye's phone conversation. This proves the wiretap was placed before the murder. Huh, right. Okay. I'd entered the Faye... Right, okay, so press that one. Was it really you that went into the office? Or was it Miss May? Unidentified fingerprints several days old were found in the Faye and Company law offices. Those were obviously Mr. White's. They're unidentified. And if I know Edgeworth, he's already run a check on those prints. Now, Mr. White, tell us why you went to the Faye and Company. Of course, I had done so to place the wiretap. Why did you tap Mia's phone? This has no bearing on the current case, Your Honor. Yes, it does. If it was to plan the murder... Blue Camp is a detective agency of sorts. We have responsibility to protect client confidentiality. As when I saw this glass light stand. Why did you notice something as innocuous as a light stand? The light stand was made entirely out of glass. It was quite stylish, so I guess it made a lasting impression. Such a beauticious thing deserves attention, does it not? That is all. Curses. There's nothing more for me to press him on.